Hello everyone, it's Leslie Hassler with your Biz Rules Business Coaching on a very gloomy Tuesday. It's kind of icky out. I secretly wish it would rain, like a lot, so baseball would get canceled tonight because I'm tired. But that's okay. We're working on a remodel, my husband and I. Some days when you have the skills, you run into a little bit of danger having skills, and so we have some skills, and we thought it would be great to do the electrical, which we're good at. It's not like that's a problem, but it's a lot of work. So we stayed up till 1 a.m. last night finishing up so that we could get inspection. So I want baseball to be canceled. I want to fall asleep on my sofa tonight. So wow, I'm going to move away a little bit because it's making my eyes look huge with these glasses. Okay, so this week we've been talking about marketing, right? And marketing in your small business, and how yesterday I talked about that small business isn't the same as big business. Like, our marketing has to be completely different so that it's applicable and it generates results. Like branding for the sake of branding, don't need it. Chances are you need a personal brand, but you don't need branding in the way that you think you need branding. And so we want really impactful marketing so that it actually is getting stuff done for you. So today I thought I'd talk about this YES formula. And if you think about good marketing is really reverse engineered. It is engineered to support the sales process so that by the time somebody's calling you, they're sold, or maybe they have some questions, or maybe it is a question of investment or not investing, or those types of things. But really having to educate and having to communicate why they should buy from you, most of that work should and could be done through marketing, right? So remember yesterday we talked about consistency in marketing and always needing those consistent 7 touches. It's 7 to 5 touches, and you can plan those. In fact, a lot of times when my clients and I are marketing a specific program or package or something like that, we actually map out each of the touch and assign a purpose to the touch. So is this supposed to be educational? Is this supposed to be aspirational? Is this supposed to promote action? Whatever we want this specific touch of marketing to do with our clients, we actually put some intention behind it. And the reason why is because there's a lot of reasons why people buy. And you really need to know why people buy from you. If you don't know, I would almost say you can take a guess, but always use your clients to validate and ask them, what brought you here today? What made you decide to buy? What were you coming to look for? Did you receive it? All these kinds of questions that really help you get into the mind of your ideal client. Because what I have found time and time again is what we think is our clients' reasons to buy actually can be off a good percentage. Okay, so we want to make sure we get those reasons to buy clearly enough. And when you know your clients so well, right, and you understand their reasons to buy and what their motivations are, you can really start to define your service or your package by a few key principles, if you will. So what the problem that you solve, okay, so these are the 4 P's, right? The problem that you solve. What is the pain that your client is experiencing by being in the problem? And are they numb to it? Good thing to note. What's your promise? Where are you going to take them? Sometimes people talk to this about being the transformation that might happen, especially in the service-based business. What is that transformation? And then it's the plan. So when you put these 4 little elements together, and I'm going to show you, okay, because I printed it out so you didn't have to think, but let's see if I can get that in the right place, okay? That's the equation. Ooh, it's right on my forehead. That's the equation, okay? So it's pain times problem times promise. So it's almost like P cubed plus the plan has to be greater than a no or a resistance to change, or even you could put a $sign in that. Sometimes I put the formula like that with the $sign. So pain times promise times problem, okay, plus a plan has to be greater than resistance to change. Your marketing really is all about communicating this. And you do it in a lot of different ways. So I love problem, right? That first P being about stories. Because I think so often a story will sell so much quicker than it might if you were just saying, hey, do you hate to do your bookkeeping? But if you told a story about a client that hated to do bookkeeping and what it cost her, maybe she misfiled some taxes and had late penalties. Maybe she, I don't know, missed out on the fact that she could have invested in her 401k and been able to put the money in her bank instead of the government's bank. Okay, you have these stories with your clients, okay? Problem stories are awesome because it takes the emphasis off of you and starts helping your clients identify with what you do. And that's a key component of marketing. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I know I keep talking about IATA, which is attention, interest, desire, and action. I'll go into that more tomorrow. The pain. The pain is the cost. What is it costing somebody? Sometimes pain is not a physical pain. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's an emotional pain. Sometimes it's confidence. Sometimes it's acceptance. Sometimes it's monetary cost. Sometimes it's fulfillment. I mean, this pain or the cost of the problem can be very objective and documentable, and it can also be very subjective, which makes it a little bit harder to really communicate. The third P, the promise. Like the promised land, where if they were going to get on this boat with you, where are they going to? What can they hope to have? And these are often the aspirations. So if somebody is looking for an increase in income, like I can say pretty unequivocally, I can help you grow into 6 figures within the first 12 months of your business or add 6 figures to your bottom line. I can do that. Mostly because I've done it before and I have the results to prove it. Or I could say, I help businesses grow 50 to 235% in as little as 6 months. I can say that because I have the numbers to prove it, okay? You've got something that you can prove to your clients, okay? You just need to be able to communicate what that promises are. And here's the thing, guys. You might have multiple problems. You might have multiple promises. And the key is to really define them in such a way that when you walk into a room, you might be able to talk to a few people and you can pick the right problem promise to be talking about in that room. Okay, that might be networking, that might be speaking, right? But that's a form of marketing. The next part is the plan. Now here's the one thing. Look at this equation again. The plan's not that important. So if you're talking about work, if you're talking about the work that you do in your marketing and how many hours and all of the things you do, guess what? Your clients hear work. They don't hear that you're doing it for them. They hear work. Because if it's that much work for you, it must be that much work for them. So the key here on the plan is to just be able to communicate to your ideal client that you know what you're doing. You know the path to get there, that it looks something like this at a high level, that you have a process, that you've done this before. People are looking for reassurance that you're not, that they're not going to be new for you for the day. So, it's one of these things. You have to say you have it, but you don't have to go into great detail. If those 4 elements are strong, then it's an easy yes. So a lot of times when we're off, we really have to figure out where we're off. I will say pain can be a really hard one, or the cost can be really hard for people to really attribute and be able to communicate in their marketing. Usually the problem is pretty clear, and usually the promise is pretty clear, as long as you've been paying attention to what the benefits of working with you are. So how do you use this? All day long. I don't care if it's marketing. I don't care if it's a PowerPoint presentation where you're proposing something. Maybe it is your proposals. Here's the funny thing. So, this little guy, I used to use this in my design presentations. So if I was bringing on a new client or something like that, I would do a design presentation. The problem was always what their house looked like, right? And then the promise, because believe me, most people hate the way their house looks like when they're using an interior designer, and I put the pictures in black and white. They looked even worse. I knew what I was doing. And then I always did a little picture collage of, hey, this is what I heard you say. This is what it could potentially look like. Not that it was the design, it was just a visual representation of where we thought we were going. And then I had 8-step process. And the 8-step process was the same process. I don't care if it was an itty bitty project or a whole house remodel or construction. It was the same process. And all I had to do was highlight it. And the way I explained it was, you know what, we're going to hit all these steps. Sometimes we're in some longer than others depending on the project, but we know what we're doing. And then it was the price. That always came last. Everybody wants to flip over to the price, don't they? But time and time again, this worked. And this is just one of those really kind of simple things. You can copy it down again. I feel like Kilroy. You can copy it down and use it in your marketing, in anything that you're doing pre-sale, through the sale, to actually generate a client and get good results for you. So that's what we're talking about today, is the yes formula. There it is again. Again, if this is strong, it all just works. It's really kind of cool. Be sure to come back tomorrow. I'm going to actually talk about IATA. I know sometimes when we use little acronyms, it drives people a little crazy, but that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And if you have any ideas, let me know. And I have an ask for you. So I love to do speaking. I actually love speaking. I'm one of those weird people that do. If you can't tell by the coaching in the carpool. But if you've got a speaking engagement or a group that you'd love to have me share some of the stuff like I share with you, I'd love for you to reach out to me, and then we'll see if it's a good fit. So that's it today, guys. I have to run into school to take care of some things. I hope you have a beautiful day, although it is starting to rain, and I don't have an umbrella. Anyways, this has been Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, coaching from the carpool. Have a great day.